Good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we had studied about the definition of elections, what make elections democratic, why elections are necessary and useful, and is it good to have political competition or not? There were some merits and demerits also. Now we come to the point, what is a system of election? Means what is a system of election in India? In India, we know that there is Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections are held after every 5 years. We have two Sabha, Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. After 5 years, the term of all elected representatives come to an end. Okay, means the chosen representative governs for 5 years, and after 5 years, the time or the term comes to an end. Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha stands dissolved. It stands dissolved. Elections are held in all constituencies at the same time, either on the same day or within a few days. Okay, Lok Sabha or the Vidhan Sabha, it stands dissolved. And what happens? Elections are held in the constituencies, okay, at the same time or in some few days. This is called a general election. Okay, that means that elections which are held in the constituencies at the same time, either on the same day or within a few days, this is called a general election. So this is the definition of general election. Sometimes election is held only for one constituency to fill the vacancy caused by death or resignation of a member. Now what happens? Many a times the chosen representative expires or he resigns from the membership. At that time, what happens? The elections are held only not in all the constituencies but only one constituency to fill the vacancy of the member. So this is called a by-election. Okay, elections which are held in every constituencies at the same day or in few days. This is general elections. And sometimes when a chosen representative expires or resigns from the membership and elections are held for one constituency to fill up the vacancy is called as by-elections. Okay. Now we are going to talk about electoral constituencies. What is the meaning of electoral constituencies? In our country, we follow an area-based system of representatives. Obviously, in India, we have representatives of a single constituency. The country is divided into different areas for purpose of elections. Okay, we have different areas. Our country India has different areas for election purposes. These areas are called electoral constituencies. India is also divided into different electoral constituencies. The voters who live in an area elect one representative. Example, people are living in one constituency. Their people will elect one representative. For Lok Sabha elections, country is divided in 543 constituencies. For the Lok Sabha elections, okay, to become the member of Lok Sabha, there are 543 constituencies. The representative elected from each constituency is called Member of Parliament, that is MP. The representative which is elected from each constituency. In Lok Sabha, there are how many constituencies? 543. And the representative elected from each constituency is known as what? Member of Parliament, that is MP. One of the features of democratic election is that every vote should have equal value. Means every person should have the right to vote and every vote should have an equal value. That is why our constitution requires that each constituency should have a roughly equal population living within it. Okay, means what that needs, that every constitution, our Indian constitution requires that each constituency should have an equal population living in it, so that they should also get a choice or they should also get the opportunity to be elected as a representative, right? Similarly, each state is divided into specific number of assembly constituencies. A country is divided into areas which are known as constituencies. But now each state is also divided into specific number of assembly constituencies. In this case, the elected representative is called member of legislative assembly or MLA. When you are electing a representative from each constituency, what it is known? It is known as member of parliament. And each constituency has a number of assembly constituencies. Okay, each state has a number of assembly constituencies, and the members which are elected from these assembly constituencies are called as member of legislative assembly, that is MLAs. So this is the difference between member of parliament and member of legislative assembly. Each parliamentary constituency has within it several assembly constituencies. Now, member of parliament, okay, parliamentary constituency, it has different assembly constituencies, that is MLAs. The same principle applies for panchayat and municipal elections. Okay, this applies on these panchayat and municipal elections also. Each village or town is divided into several wards. We all know that in country we have constituencies. Under these constituencies, each state has assembly constituencies. Whereas if we are talking about the rural areas, that is the villages, what happens? The villages or the towns are divided into wards. Okay, that are like constituencies. Each ward elects one member of the village or the urban local body. Okay, so each ward elects the member. Sometimes these constituencies are counted as states, for each constituency represents one seat in the assembly. Now what happens? Sometimes what happens that these constituencies which are counted as states for each constituency represents one seat. At least one seat are represented by them in the assembly. When we say that Ilok Dal won 60 seats in Haryana, it means that candidates of Lok Dal won in 60 assembly constituencies. Okay, if when we are saying that this Dal, or we can say the Bhajpa or the Congress, has won 75 seats or 76 seats, that means that the Ilok Dal has got 70 or 75 or 76 assembly constituencies in the state, and thus Lok Dal had 60 MLAs in state assembly. Okay, so that goes for the MLAs also. It has meant that if we are talking about any Congress party or Bhajpa, if you are talking about Congress party, it has won 70 seats, then it means that it has won 70 assembly constituencies, and within these 70 assembly constituencies there are 70 MLAs also. Okay, then we have reserved constituencies. Reserved constituencies means the makers of our constitution thought of a special system of reserved constituencies are reserved for the weaker sections. Now these reserved constituencies are for those people who are considered to be the weaker sections or the backward sections of the society. Some constituencies are reserved for people who belong to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So these weaker sections, these backward sections, we can say scheduled tribes and scheduled caste. So there are some seats for these caste also. In SC, that is in scheduled caste, reserved constituency, only someone who belongs to SC can stand for election. When you are talking about scheduled caste, only someone who belongs to the scheduled caste can stand for election. Similarly, only those belonging to scheduled tribe can contest an election from constituency reserved for ST. Okay, for scheduled tribe, if you are conducting an election for the scheduled tribe, then only a member of scheduled tribe can be elected as a representative. Okay, and then currently in Lok Sabha, 79 seats are reserved for scheduled caste and 41 for scheduled tribes. Okay, so these are the reservation in the Lok Sabha, that there are 79 seats for the scheduled caste and 41 seats for the scheduled tribes. So this was a talk about reserved constituencies. Now if we are talking about the reserved constituencies, we are going to talk about next the voters list. What is the meaning of voters list? Okay, In a democratic election, the list of those who are eligible to vote is prepared much before the election and given to everyone. Okay, so what happened here? A list is made of all those people who are able to vote, and it is prepared before the election. Before the elections come, it is prepared and it is given to everyone. This list is officially called electoral roll and commonly known as voters list. If officially we know it by electoral roll, and commonly if we can talk, we can say it voters list. This is an important step, for it is linked to the first condition of a democratic election. Everyone should get an equal opportunity to choose representative. So what happened? This voters list is linked to the condition of democratic election. That there is a condition of democratic election that every person should get the equal chance to choose the representative. So this step, that is the voters list, is connected with this condition. Then we come to universal adult franchise. In this practice, it means that everyone should have one vote and each vote should have equal value. Universal adult franchise, everyone knows about it. Okay, that girls above the age of 18 has the right of vote. Okay, and for boys it is 21. So this is the meaning of universal adult franchise, and it focuses on the point that each person has the right to vote and each vote has an equal value. Thank you.